Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome into episode 103 of the Second to One podcast. Joining you today, you have myself, Shiz. We also have Mr. Mo Snell and Brother Taheem Green. Fellas, how y'all feeling today?
What's up?
So we all right, brother. We all right.
We all right? We good? All right. We
Absolutely.
survived the debate. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna discuss it a little later, but
I didn't even watch it.
Barely survived it.
barely survived it is
I
correct.
wasn't watching that.
So yeah, how this podcast works, we talk mostly about sports, hip hop, politics, and everything in between. We give it to you straight, raw, no chaser. And if we offend you, we apologize slightly. How we kick things off, we have our taking a shot segment where we give a bold prediction about one of the topics I just named. Collectively, we do pretty well, 80%. But when you take a shot, you're bound to have a few hiccups here and there. So I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna take it right to this NFC East. I'm gonna take it to these Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh boy.
My taking a shot is this. Within the next 3 weeks, before I say it, here's the Eagles schedule. At 49ers, at Steelers, home for the Ravens. Within these next 3 games, Carson Wentz will be benched for a half. Not because they're winning, but just because he needs a breather. They're going to give a look at Jalen Hurts because they're going to be getting blown out, or Wentz is just not going to be playing well, and they're just going to throw Jalen Hurts out there, see if they can give him a spark. And once they figure out that he can't do that, they'll bring him back in. Then they'll play the Giants after those 3 games. They'll win that game, and then they'll sort of try to get back on track. But my taking a shot is that within the next 3 games, Mr. Carson Wentz will be benched temporarily to see what Jalen Hurts can give to him. Taheem, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts, sir?
I can definitely believe that. I can definitely see them benching Wentz just to see what they have. I mean, to me, it was a dumb pick anyway. I don't know why you get Jalen Hurts and you just paid Wentz, that money. But yeah, why not? I mean, the Eagles can't even hope to make the playoffs, so why not see what you got back there?
All right, Snell, your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think they bench him. I think he just plays it out. They don't have much going for him. Like the line's just all types of banged up, and then Jalen Hurts comes from just not advanced offenses. I'll say like Alabama, like as a quarterback, you don't really have to do much at Alabama. You kind of have athletes everywhere. Same thing at Oklahoma. Like it's just everything's wide open. You're not really asked to do much. So throwing Hurts to learning a complex Eagles offense and trying to put it together, they make it dummy it down for him. But I don't think you don't see him, not unless Carson Wentz gets hurt, which is a very good possibility.
All right. Yeah, I just think like he's going to be playing bad, or they're going to be getting blown out, and they're just going to throw Jalen Hurts in there, see what he can do. And if he, if he lights it up, then
I could see that. Like I said, them getting blown out. Yeah, I could see him going in, or if Wentz is hurt. But just to do it, like just to see, like it would have to be worse than Mitch. Like it can't be like 26-10. It would have to be like 40-10 going into the fourth, and they're like, all right, put Hurts in there.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Snell, what is your taking the shot, sir?
Man, oh man! Like always, there's so many ways this taking a shot can go. But I'm gonna just go to the NFL as a whole, just so I don't get my hopes up, don't get my dreams up. I don't think we're gonna make it through an entire NFL season. I'm shutting this down around week 10. That's my take of the shot. We don't make it through the whole season. We're going to shut it down around week 10, and then we're going to go into like almost like the NBA, like all right, who are the best teams available? Let's stick everybody in a bubble. That's how I see it going, but I don't think we make it through the whole season.
Taheem, go. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, with the latest news surrounding the Titans, who I like to shout out as Spiders team. they're infecting everybody in the league, and their game actually got postponed until what, Monday? I think they're talking about playing.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah, Monday. It hasn't been confirmed yet,
Yeah, it hasn't
but
been
Monday or
confirmed, but
Tuesday.
they're talking about it. So, it's starting to roll. People are starting to get it. But I mean, the NBA, I'm not the NBA. The MLB kind of went through this too. I think in their first week or first 2 weeks, it was a bunch of teams that had it, and they still played. They still continued. They still did what they had to do, and they are not in any type of bubble situation. Those guys, they go home after those games. So, in the way that the NFL is structured, those owners don't care about those players. They're going to put them out there in the field. If it was hot lava on that field, they'll put them out there. So, I think you're going to get more cases, but they're not going to shut this NFL down because they got it rolling. They're going to keep it rolling. They're going to keep it rolling.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think they find a way to get it done, and the issue is like we had a low number here. It was like 8 players or a combination of 8 players and coaches, but if it's like 20, then you have no choice. So
and I also think the NFL won't release the real numbers. Like they're telling us it's 8 or 4 or however many. It might be 25, and they're just not telling nobody. So I mean, this is the NFL. They lie.
Yeah. So
my last piece of it, the last piece of it is that also right around about 0-5 that's when you're gonna start seeing teams not caring. Like,
yeah. They're like, everybody got COVID.
Exactly. Like the Jet, like if you're
the whole Jets organization has it.
Exactly. Like if you're for instance, like Florida just opened up 100%. What are the Jags? They're like 1-2 right now, right?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Let the Jags get to 1-5.
Yeah,
everybody's going out.
That's a fair point. Yeah,
same thing with the Dolphins. Like they're like 1-2. Let them get to 1. If we're 1-5 and I'm in Miami, I'm going out. There's no way I'm gonna just sit here in misery for an entire. It's not going to add up. But that's my last piece of why.
Yeah, I mean, I semi agree with you. I just think that I think like Tahim said, the NFL is so greedy. They're so money hungry. Like they're going to just get these games in no matter what. And by week 10, like you might see fans in all stadiums. So that's just even more money for the owners. So I think the owners will find a way. But as you just said, like when teams are out of it, like they're just going to be breaking protocol just because, like, you know what, they're rich, they're young, and they want to live their lives, especially if they live in like the southern states. So I agree with both of you where the NFL is money hungry, but the cases will go up. But at the end of the day, I think they get the season done. The biggest thing is if a team comes down with like 20 cases, there's just no way you can play a game. Luckily for the Titans and the Steelers, they have only 8, players and coaches, so they're going to just try to push the game to Monday or Tuesday and still get this game in. But we'll see, man. I hope you're wrong, but everything is possible with this COVID, man. So we'll see. All right, Tahim, what did you take in the shot, sir?
Before I'm taking my shot, I'm just going to say I am watching the MLB playoffs. I'm a Yankees fan, and it looks like they're literally playing in a monsoon right now. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's crazy out there. They're actually still playing. But anyway, back to my taking a shot. I'm going to go to these bum-ass Jets. These Jets are going to lose for the foreseeable future. And because of that, they're going to get rid of Gase. They're going to fire Gase. And they're going to hire Bieniemy. I'm probably saying his name wrong.
Eric Bieniemy, yeah.
Eric Bieniemy. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, they're going to hire him, but this is a trap. This is a trap because the Jets are so trash that when he gets there, he's not going to be able to help. And it's going to make him look like a bad coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because the coach before with Gase was the defensive coordinator for the Bucks now. I can't think of it.
Todd Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is a good defensive coach, but they sucked when he was there. Like, they just don't have the personnel to turn it around. And I mean, all right, so the Jets are going to suck this year. They're probably going to get a number one. They're definitely going to get a top 5 pick. Who are they going to get that's going to be, a game changer that's going to be able to change the team, the culture, a kind of guy like they need. And Eric Bieniemy is an offensive guy, right? He already has a quarterback in place. He might not even like jive with that quarterback. So I just think it's a bad situation for any coach coming in, but it's going to be Eric Bieniemy coming in, and it's going to make him look trash. So I give him 2 years there, and then they're probably going to try to fire him.
Yeah, I think I agree where this is a trap job. And if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I would either stay with Kansas City or go get another NFL job or just go the college route. Do not take that Jets job because the only way you could take the Jets job is if you're guaranteed to get Trevor Lawrence. That's the only way you should take it. If they're sticking with this Sam Darnold, and if they have a top 5 pick, they might not even use that on the receiver. Maybe they trade back. I don't know, but it's just too tough of a job and too tough of a market to really experience like your first head coaching job. Like Joe Judge is about to learn the real hard way. Like it was all, laughs and giggles over the summer. Like, yeah, he's a young-minded head coach. He was with Bill Belichick and he was with Nick Saban. Like he knows what he's doing, and they get blown out by Nick Mullins. So like it's only
stop disrespecting me, man.
I'm just saying like you have all of this momentum in the off season, and then when reality sets in and the media in New York turns on you, it can be really, really bad. And I just think like Eric Bieniemy, he's done so well as the coordinator for the Chiefs to come to New York and get crushed and probably never end up with another head coaching job again, possibly. It's a wrong move, but I don't know. Snow, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think if Gase can't get a win tomorrow, while we're recording this, but on this Thursday night football game, I think the jig's up. I don't think like if they lose on that Thursday night football game, he could just walk directly to his car.
I'm about to say, yeah, he don't gotta get on the bus or wherever the guy. They playing in New York.
Yeah,
he might as well just walk off the sideline and walk home.
Yeah, if you can't beat the Broncos flying west to east on a short week with a backup quarterback, it's over. It's especially if they get killed, which I kind of anticipate happening. It's definitely over, and you can go.
In the Broncos,
go right to the car.
They're going with their third string quarterback.
Yeah, they're going with third string quarterback.
Yeah, big Brett Ripon.
Yeah, so to lose to if you lose to them on a short week, it's over. Like there's nothing you can do or say. Like it's over. And then as far as Eric Bieniemy, I would take the job. I don't think Sam Darnold is awful. I really think that the talent
they have nothing like
like the talent around him is so poor. It's like really hard to fairly judge him. Just like their top receiver is Jamison Crowder. There's one thing
that Le'Veon Bell was a bad move because he's fighting with Gase. He won't play.
Yeah. Like Le'Veon Bell's not a running back you get when you don't have a good offensive line. Like that's just not somebody you get. So
and then you got the ghost of Frank Gore out there. Like
you got Frank. So I think Darnold, like if you came in and you're Bieniemy and you have to know, like if you have a top pick, you have Sam Darnold. I think you can make it work a little bit. They got to open up that checkbook, which the Jets aren't against doing. But
I don't think anybody wants to come play there either.
Yeah, but still, I would take the job, but it would still be like a heavy. It's still a load, but I would take the job if I was Bieniemy. I don't think you need to draft a quarterback. I think you can go a different route and kind of pull things together.
See, if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I don't take the Jets job. I would take that Atlanta job though. Like that Atlanta job is probably coming open. So I would take that in a heartbeat before the Jets. There's some other jobs that might come open, but the first two jobs that are clearly going to be open soon is Atlanta and the Jets.
But listen, I don't know because you got to look at this Atlanta team. It's not like teams are going there and blowing this team out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're losing close games. Let's just say they turn it around and they go to the playoffs.
If they make the playoffs, then he'll keep his job. Yeah. But I don't see it. I know the Saints are struggling. They can't.
It's a tough.
Then you got the Bucks. Like if they made the playoffs, that would be like just miraculous. But I don't see it. So more than likely, I would say it's like a 75% chance that Atlanta job comes open. And if you're behind me, or even the Chargers job might come open too. So like
I don't know about that, man. You can't.
that's another yeah, I think because the Chargers like another just bad law. Like it's just I don't see Lynn keeping that job for much longer either. So those three jobs, if they come open, the Jets is just put it this way: the Jets is the last job you should want to take at this point in time because of the talent level, because of the media, and they're just in flux. Like you got Darnold, can he play? You don't know. You need to find out. They have no talent. It's New York. Like it's a bad job. So just go somewhere else. If that's my advice to Eric Bieniemy, a black man. That's my advice.
My advice is a black man.
Oh, man.
All right. So are we done? We done with our taking a shot segment?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Round of applause. All right, jumping into these topics. We're going to jump into our teams. I'll kick it off. Cowboys are a 4.5-point favorite versus the Cleveland Browns. Cowboys coming off a loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Once again, same old story. We fall down big. Dak looks like a superhero. He brings us back. But this time we shoot ourselves in the foot, throws a late interception. We can't get a stop on fourth down. It's over. So just going back to last week, again, I don't understand like our like there's guys running wide, like they're just wide open. Like Tyler Lockett just looked like Jerry Rice with speed. Like it was amazing how wide open he was. Then you got DK Metcalf, he's wide open. It could have been way worse than what it was. He gets a touchdown. He gets a touchdown stripped at the very end, so for a touchback. The Cowboy, the Seahawks player could have had an interception, but he kicks the ball up to Michael Gallup and he runs down the field. Like it was a bad performance. We came back, took the lead late, didn't get it done. Now we move on to the Browns. Browns, they're an up and down team, but they have a lot of talent. Like they, got an Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, the two backs, Baker Mayfield, who's struggling, but he can still light it up if he has time. So this is a game that the Cowboys have to win. Like we have to win this game. I think we can. We just got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. Like we got a safety last week. We throw 2 interceptions, a fumble. Like it's just all stupid stuff. Then you got Tony Pollard. He first of all, if the ball's going into the end zone on the kickoff, you just let it go. He wants to bring it out, fumbles the ball on the 1-yard line. So we start the possession there. So it's just stupid stuff like that I don't understand. But this game, if we could play a clean game, which was a tall task, we should be able to win. We're at home. Jerry's going to squeeze in as many fans as he can. But I'm extremely concerned. Like we're just very sloppy. We we have zero discipline, and it's just stupid stuff. Like the only good thing I can say is Alden Smith. Like from the couch, or
from under the car,
or under the car, or from the crack house.
He was doing oil changes.
From the crack house, leads the NFL in sacks. Like that's pretty remarkable. So props to him. But other than that, man, it's not much I can say positive about this team. But we just need to win this game. Taheem, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
I honestly think the Cowboys are playing great. Anytime the Cowboys loses a game, an angel gets his wings. That's what I say.
You're smoking crack.
But yeah, man, it's just been the story for the Cowboys for what, like 4 or 5 years now. On paper, they're one of the most elite teams in the world, but they make the dumbest ass mistakes. Like, and
every
then
year.
We thought it was your boy
Garrett.
We thought it was him. And then they went and they got McCartney, and now McCartney's like, oh, I'm an analytics guy, and he's going for it on 4th and fucking 45. He's like, yeah, we're gonna play this new defense called no safeties. Like, so I don't understand what's going on in Dallas, man.
Oh,
like,
man.
and So
And Earl Thomas is still out there, and we just not doing anything.
They're not going to bring in Earl at this point now. They'd have been brought him. But anyway,
but why? But why not? I don't get that.
Know.
Like it's something that I like. It has me talking to myself sometimes. Like, yo, what are we doing? Can he be that bad of a human being?
And they said
we don't bring him in.
They said he doesn't fit their style of defense.
What defense? We have no defense. Like, we can't cover anybody. We can't stop the run. Like, the scheme is not working. We need a total overhaul already. Like, bring him in.
Who's the defensive coordinator?
Mike Nolan. He stinks. Like, he's done. Who
was the black guy that was the defensive coordinator?
Oh, Chris Richard. I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. Yeah, he's not. I don't know if he's in the league right now.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, people was singing his praises last year. I thought it was like last year or 2 years ago.
2 years ago, they were singing his praises. Then last year, they figured him out, and we was getting killed every week. And now he's unemployed. I'm not sure if he's unemployed, but he's not He's not a defensive coordinator. He might be like
a linebacker coach.
Yeah, but I don't know. So, what are your thoughts on the Cowboys-Browns matchup?
I actually, man, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Oh, man.
I got this as the royal ass whooping of the week. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the living life out of the Browns. Because I called this as soon as the Browns lost week 1. I said, the Browns, they're going to win week 2, week 3. Everybody's going to say, Baker Mayfield is back. He knows what he's doing. We have full confidence in him. They're going to go in here and beat the Cowboys, and they're going to go in there and get killed. Because the Browns are a team that they're good against bad teams, and they're horrible against good teams. That's going to be their entire season. Is every time they face a capable team, they're going to get blown out. And this is going to be that. And it's going to be like, man, it's unbelievable how good the Dallas Cowboys looked against the Browns, who's supposed to be a capable team. So that's how I see this one going.
I actually see the Browns winning.
Well, Snell, I hope you're right, because
I'm telling you, I don't think it's going.
I see the Browns winning because I just feel like the Cowboys have a really bad secondary. The Browns have Odell. Like, I don't care what you say. Like, even against a good secondary, Odell is still an issue. And then you have Jarvis Landry, who's still a good wide receiver. They have an okay number 3. They can run the ball, and that defense isn't that bad, especially those edge rushers. And I know Dallas has had problems with their offensive line making switches and things like that. And then I think, Dallas is not the secondary, but their linebackers aren't that great. Jalen Smith is getting a little slow, and then the rest of them all on IR. And I think Baker Mayfield's going to go in there with that like bravado. And I think they're going to beat the Cowboys.
Listen, man, you don't fool. I've seen this show before. I've seen this act.
I'm telling you, man. Mark McCarthy's going to go in there and play that zone double nickel coverage bullshit.
If the Browns keep this close, I would be shocked. But I've seen this act before, right?
100%. I've seen it.
You get blown out by the Ravens, a team that knows what football is at this point. Then you go barely beat the Bengals.
True. On a Thursday at home.
Night. Yeah, on a Thursday.
And I think the Bengals are a lot better than what their record shows too.
Okay, and then you go and you beat the Washington Redskins,
who are
exactly
abysmal. Yeah,
exactly. So your two wins are essentially versus rookie quarterbacks on teams with horrible offensive lines. That's your 2 wins.
Yeah, but I mean, they are who we thought they are, though. We didn't think we were going to beat the Ravens.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So they've done nothing to tell me that, hey, we can beat the Dallas Cowboys, like a team that front office shouldn't all be fired. That's what I'm going to say. Like you're facing a team with no name and a team that kept Hugh Jackson, or no. Listen, it's going to be a blowout. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, Snell, I hope you're right. That'd make my Sunday a lot better, because last week I was pissed. But that's what it is. Sunday, up and down. But moving on, Chargers at Bucks. Bucks 7-point favorite. Bucks coming off of an impressive victory last week. Snell, break it down for us. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
Well, last week we were blessed. We were blessed with Driscoll at quarterback, so we were a bit blessed to get him and beat the Broncos. So that made things a lot easier because Driscoll's just god awful. This week the Chargers, I feel good about it because the Chargers are just a team. They just like that team was just like created on an Indian burial ground. I've never seen a team with more bad luck than the Chargers. Like, first off, they should have won. They shouldn't even have been in that position last week with the Panthers to lose that game. And then they draw up a great like Hail Mary play that the receiver catches the ball, pitches it to Austin Eckler. If Austin Eckler gets that ball, he can literally like just fully walk into the end zone. They pitch it to Austin Eckler. He misses the pitch, drop the ball. Everybody dives on the ball. Game over. So they shouldn't even have been in that position. But to then also not get that play home at the end of the game that would have won it is just like I couldn't believe it. But no, I think we'll win. I think Herbert. I think the same thing. You know, with a lot of quarterbacks, it's just different when a defense prepares for you. And I just think Todd Bowles just has too much experience to let Herbert come in there and just put together a miraculous game and win it. So we'll take another win and we'll just keep on learning as we go.
Yeah, I agree. Chargers, like I said, Anthony Lynn, that seat is starting to get a little hot. I mean, they squeaked the win against the Bengals earlier in the year, and then they lose to the Panthers, and it's just little things like that where this team may be not as good as the people want them to be. Because realistically, how much better is Tyrod Taylor than Herbert? Slightly, he has more experience, but is he going to be light years better to like drastically improve the team? I don't think so. So the Chargers, they're looking at 8-8, maximum 7-9, 6-10 type of season. And if you're Anthony Lynn, I think that'd just be the end for you. I think this team has to make the playoffs in order to keep his job. So now we're going to travel and play the Bucks. Brady's starting to get comfortable, and like you said, Todd Bowles is going to draw up something that Herbert is just not simply prepared for. And I see the Bucks winning and probably covering this game, and that'd be that. I mean, really not much else to say. It's just I think the Bucks just take care of business. Herbert on the road against Todd Bowles, bad matchup. Bucks win. Tahim, your thoughts?
Yeah, I just think the Chargers have really, really bad luck, and I think it's going to continue. I think Tampa Bay wins this game.
All right. Moving on. Sunday Night Football, Eagles at 49ers. The 49ers are a 7-point favorite, 7.5-point favorite at some books. We'll see, because Nick Mullins, I think, is playing again. So you just never know, like, with a backup quarterback, even though Nick Mullins has proven that he can win games. Eagles are a desperate, desperate team. So they're going to come in and give you that Rocky Balboa effort, and we'll see if that is good enough to win. I think the 49ers do figure out a way to win this game, but I do think the Eagles stay within the 7 points, 7.5 points. And it's just going to be like this is going to be the beginning of that Carson Wentz, maybe we should sit him down for a half momentum, because they're going to be losing games. Like you tie the Bengals at home. Like how does that happen? Like you shouldn't, like you're the Eagles, you have a $100 million quarterback. How do you tie the Cincinnati Bengals at home? Like that should never be possible. So the rumblings and then on top of that, to make it even better, Nick Foles gets put in the game and leads the Bears to a comeback. So you already know Philadelphia's in an uproar right now. So if the 49ers come out and blow the Eagles out on national television, it'll just be mayhem on Philadelphia sports radio to where the Jalen Hurts talk will start to ramp up. But in my opinion, I think the Eagles keep it close enough to cover that 7.5 mark. But I do think the 49ers end up winning the game, whether it's Garoppolo or Nick Mullins. Taheem, your team, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think this could possibly be a trap game because, like you said, the Eagles are a desperate team. They're going to Doug Peterson's going to pull all the stops out. He's going to pull up everything, draw up everything that he possibly can to get around that defense. Even with all the injured players, the 49ers is still a really good team and still a really good coach team. That team will find a weakness and really exploit it. So I think, like you said, I think the Eagles cover, but I still think we win the game.
All right, Snow, your thoughts.
Yeah, I agree a little bit with Taheem that it could be like a trap game. I don't know. It depends. For me, it just depends on who's playing. Like, I don't know if I can trust Nick Mullins versus that Eagles defense. I don't know if Nick Mullins can make all the proper reads versus that Eagles defense, and that may just cause some mistakes, and that may be enough for Eagles to keep it close or win the game by like a late field goal or something like that. But if this is G-string Jimmy, this thing's over. So it just depends. For me, it would all depend on who's at quarterback. I think I saw Deebo Samuel is on the active roster, and if Mostert is going, then this thing's over. The Eagles might as well not even get off the plane. Like, they can just turn right back around, take this loss, save everybody their time. So it just depends on who's healthy. And for the 49ers, if the 49ers, because the 49ers may take this game and be like, let's try to get a little bit of extra rest and like not rush Jimmy back, not rush Mostert back, not rush guys back, and just try to see if they can do it again for another week. So we'll see. But if Jimmy G's going, give me the 49ers.
So here's why I think it may not be a trap game, because next week they play the Dolphins. So like, this is just a game. If they had like a division opponent next week, then I'll think they would be looking ahead. But since it's just like another standard game, I think they'll be focused enough to get the victory. So they play the Dolphins next week at home, and then they play the Rams. So if they were playing the Rams next week, then I can agree that it'd be a trap game. But since it's just the Dolphins, I think that they're just happy to be home because they was in New York for 2 weeks in a row. They're happy to be home. Kittle's back. I think they find a way to win, but the 7.5, that's just a lot of points. Moving on, we got these Jets hosting Brett Ripon and the Denver Broncos at home. The Jets are a 1-point underdog to the traveling Denver Broncos. Plain and simple, if the Jets lose this game, Adam Gase is fired, more than likely. There's really no way around it. The Jets went to Indianapolis last week and got embarrassed. 2 pick sixes for Sam. Really not much else to say. They look like the worst team in football by a lot. Well, actually not by a lot, because the Giants are right there too. So I think I have a feeling that the Jets find a way to win to keep Adam Gase's job.
No,
I can't see Brett Ripon without Cortland Sutton and without some other guys coming into MetLife on a Thursday and winning this football game. Like, if that happens, Gase, just walk home, sir. Take an Uber, like, give me your key card. Don't come in this building ever again, because that will just be the absolute end of an era that's been a bad era for him, and it would be awful, extremely awful, if you allow Brett Ripon come into this building and win on a Thursday night. And that's all I gotta say. Snell, your thoughts?
Well, Adam Gase, I think with the Jets, I'm going to say this. I think with the Jets, I'm seeing signs of the team has given up on you. That's what I think the first issue is, that the team has given up on you, and then your most skilled players have gotten hurt. So it's a combination of You don't have great players. You don't the great like the players that you do have that are not great don't believe in your system, and you're playing like who they lose. They lost to the Colts, right?
Yeah, they got blown out.
Got blown out. But the week before that, you lose to they had the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
So the 49ers traveled all that way, got what 8 injuries, something a world record for injuries in one game, still blew you out with the whole team getting decimated with injuries. Like you would think that would take the emotion out of the 49ers. Like, oh man, we just lost Bosa, our best player. They're gonna hang their head, be kind of down. Mostert gets hurt. They're still blowing you out. Jimmy G's not coming. We're still killing you, and we've lost 3 starters, and we still have enough time. So that's a sign to me that the team is giving up. Then you lose like you do against the Colts. You're throwing picks to Xavier Rhodes, who is barely, like literally barely on a rock. Like Xavier Rhodes got defensive player of the week. He was almost out of the NFL permanently for his play last year with the Vikings. So that's not good. Now this week you have the Broncos coming in on a short week where you're getting killed all over the media. Your coaches are talking about getting fired. I just don't think this is a good bowl of things happening right now for Adam Gase, and I think they end up getting killed again on Thursday night and he gets fired. So that's pretty much how it's going to go.
All right, Chaim, your thoughts?
This Jets defense is going to make what's his name? Fred Ryken?
Brett Rypien.
Brett Ryken look like the MVP. That's how bad these Jets are going to play. Yeah, man. I was thinking to myself, I don't even know if I'm going to watch Thursday Night Football, and why does the NFL keep giving us these shitty ass games on Thursday?
Yeah, this like when they made the schedule, this could not have been a good matchup even before.
Yeah, even before it was happening.
Yeah, even before like. And why? And if I'm Denver, I'm pissed. Like you usually don't see this much traveling on a Thursday. Like Denver, like you coming all the way from Colorado to New York or New Jersey on a Thursday night short week. Like it's not good. But like I said, I think the Jets find a way to win. But if they don't, Gase,
I think he's done.
Goodbye.
He's done. He also did something else that was very stupid because they were getting blown out last week. They were down like 34-10.
Yeah.
Take Sam Darnold out of the game, right? That's the common sense thing to do. Like, let's get Sam out of the game. He left them in, and then
you got to get those reps.
Like you leave them in, but if you think like, hey, listen, we're gonna turn this thing around. Listen, Sam, don't worry about it. Come over on this sideline and stay healthy. No, you send them back in, and I think they got a safety that drive. He got sacked. Like, imagine that, right? Like, you're already getting blown out. You send Sam Darnold, your franchise, back in 34-10. He blows his knee out, getting sacked.
Yeah, that could have really been bad.
So it's just like, yo, you're already sucking, and then you're not even like, you're not like. Your coaching is starting to be questioned even more. Of like, yo, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish here? Because this isn't making sense. Like you're getting blown out. Get your best players out of there. Let whoever you have as backup get some reps. At worst case scenario.
Yeah, this will be an interesting game just to see like if he gets fired or not. But other than that, the matchup is just poor. Like very, very poor.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the other tenants of the MetLife Stadium building. The Giants on the road playing the Rams. I'm sorry, Rams 13-point favorites. Rams coming off a tough loss to the Bills. They fell down early, came back, took the lead, and then the Bills won it on a late touchdown drive. I mean, the Giants. What was that like? Like you let Nick Mullins and crew just beat you down to a pulp last week in your building, and the Joe Judge honeymoon is way over now. And I tried to tell people a long time ago, like, oh yeah, Jason Garrett in that offense, like he's a great offensive mind. He got a bad rap in Dallas because of Jerry Jones. Well, here's what you get. You get nothing. Daniel Jones still doesn't know how to hold on to the football. Um, the team is bad. They have, I mean, they did lose Saquon, of course, but they got Golden Tate, they got Sterling Shepard, they got Evan Ingram. That's not bad. Like those are serviceable weapons. And the defense just problematic. Like, they got some decent secondary players, but the linebackers are not really that great. And this team is just not good. Like, how do you allow the 49ers with Nick Mullins, just come into the building? They were complaining all week about the field. They didn't even want to play. Like, they didn't even want to come back to that stadium. But you know what? They came in there and beat you down 36-9 or whatever the score was. So now they got to travel on the road and play the Rams. The Rams are pissed because they lost a close game. The 13 points seems justified to me. And the Giants, the Giants stand at the barrel of 0-8 start, or worse. So I really don't see no end in sight for this team. Like they're looking like the second worst team in football. And Joe Judge, welcome to the NFL. No sympathy from me, bro. Taheem, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the Rams are a pretty good team. The Giants are not, as we can see. So it's definitely going to be an ass kicking. This might be that royal ass whipping of the week that Mo likes to hand out. I think this really might be it.
This is neck and neck. Because
it's like the Giants ain't got nothing to live for. And the Rams, they got something to live for. So they're just gonna come in and whoop up on their ass. So
yeah, I think I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but with the Giants, I actually like I said, because I had Joe Judge getting fired after one season. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the Giants are at least trying. I just think you're seeing a huge talent gap, especially with their defense. Their defense really can't stop anyone. Like, I don't even know who they have at corner, secondary. I think they got Blake Martinez as as your primary line. Like, Blake Martinez is a good linebacker, but he's not call the plays. Like, he's not Luke Kuechly. I'll say that. I'll put it that way. He's not going to resurrect your defense. He's not going to save your defense. He's not even really like a sideline to sideline type guy. So he's just a sound tackler. And that's your best defender. So I think it's just a large talent gap on defense, to the point of where if teams don't score, they're at least moving the ball, punting the ball, and putting you in a bad field position. And the Giants don't have the offense to just put up points at will like that, especially with Saquon out. Like, that's just enough. So I don't think the team's giving up. I just think it's a huge talent gap. And this is going against these Rams in a well-coached Ram team that's running a system that they've pretty much mastered, is not the place you want to be this week. And no. This is 1A on Royal Ass Whooping of the Week. And then I got the Browns at 1B. Like that's where I got it at. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah. All right, Taheem, your thoughts.
All right, you talking about the Giants and the Rams, right?
Yeah.
I already gave them.
Oh, you did? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. All right, moving on. Monday Night Football. Falcons at Packers. Packers 7.5-point favorite. Falcons, you did it again. They found a way to lose after being up big. I mean, at this point, I thought Dan Quinn was done after last week, but he remains there. So at this point, I mean, I don't see them going into Green Bay and winning. The thing about the Falcons, man, they can score the football. Like, they could put points on the board. It's just like that late game coaching, the scenario coaching. They just are not good at that, and they always find a way to blow a lead. And with Aaron Rodgers playing the way he is, Aaron Jones running the football the way he is, the defense is playing really well. I just don't see the Falcons going in there and win. but like they have talent to maybe keep it close for a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think the Packers, they win. I think they actually cover the points. And another loss for Dan Quinn. I mean, we'll see if he's fired this week, but he's still there right now, and God bless. Snell, your thoughts?
So after reevaluating the tape, I went back, looked at the tapes. Right, Dan Quinn. This is what I'll say. Not a bad coach. As much as I like to say he's awful. Not a bad coach. I don't think the team has given up on him. But their time management, they may be the worst time management team in NFL history to not be able to get those 2 games home last week. I don't know why they're not just running the ball more, using more clock. Like, towards the end of the game, they're just still throwing and keeping teams alive. Like, you're keeping – these are incomplete passes, you're just leaving so much time on the clock for teams to come back. So just his time management should get him fired, period. But they are still capable of going in and beating the Packers. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not. But if you run into the Packers without if Devontae Adams can't go and Julio's back, I could very easily see the Falcons winning this game. But at the same time, if I had to bet this game, Dan Quinn and his lack of ability to tell time, there's no way you bet on the Falcons. So it depends. If Devontae Adams is out again and Julio's back, I think the Falcons can pull it off, but I wouldn't bet it because
Dan Quinn on Dan Quinn.
Yeah, Dan Quinn is going to Dan Quinn. So if he couldn't understand the clock in the Super Bowl, the regular season means nothing. That's the way I'll say it.
Yeah. All right, Tahim, your thoughts?
I think the Falcons are going to lose this game. These Packers are playing really, really good football right now, and I think it's just because Aaron Rodgers and I don't know the coach's name, the young guy, but I think they're on the same page. I think Matt LaFleur. LaFleur. I think that offseason that they had together, even though it was a short one with a bunch of obstacles, but they had the whole year with each other last year. This offseason coming in, I just think they're a really, really, really good team, man. They know how to run the ball. Now they finally got a running game. Aaron is really, really out there slinging it. So it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough feat for the Falcons to try to win this game.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, we're either going to have another Monday night game or a Tuesday night game. Some breaking news. CBS is expected to air this Titans at Steelers game either Monday at 5 p.m. or Tuesday at 6 or 7 p.m. According to Andrew Marchand on Twitter. So, I mean, the matchup, we wasn't really going to talk about this game. We're just really going to talk about the COVID aspect of how, we were doing well, but now, we're seeing some mistakes happen and, teams catching this COVID. So hopefully this is, I'm pretty sure this is going to happen again, but hopefully it doesn't happen to the point where they got to stop the season or postpone games more than a day or two. Thankfully, they're going to get this game in on Monday or Tuesday. It kind of sucks, especially if it's on a Tuesday, that short turnaround to play again on Sunday, that's going to hurt because you still got that Thursday game coming up later on in the season, so your bodies are going to be banged up big time. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that they're going to schedule this game to be either Monday or Tuesday. They're going to get it in and keep the season going because football being back has been great for me, and I'm sure it's been great for y'all. So don't fuck it up, please. Please don't. Any thoughts on this game or any thoughts on this COVID outbreak before we move on?
I have no thoughts on this game. That whole stadium can blow up.
I think. Back to my taking a shot of why I think this thing's gonna get shut down, because this is also the beginning of what could be something bad if you're either of these teams. you could have a right to complain. So if you're the Titans or the Steelers and you lose this game, let's say you play Tuesday. So you lose this game Tuesday, then you turn around and then you lose the following Sunday because you just played on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's 2 losses. And, the playoffs are a difference between 9-7 and, 7-9. Like, you know what I mean? Like that quick of a swing could be your season. And we're starting to get into it. We're starting to get into, all right, you have this outbreak. Let's start moving some games around. Now it's still early enough where we have options. Like, even if they couldn't get this game in on Monday or Tuesday, there's still some options to move it back to like bye weeks. And so you still have options. But as we go forward, you're going to start there's going to be less options. Teams have already taken the bye. We've already used our bye week. There ain't no bye week, so we got to play Monday or Tuesday. God forbid you run into a team that has to play Monday or Tuesday to have a Thursday game the following week.
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky. Like that, that's just physically impossible to do.
Yeah, so you're gonna. So I think as the season progresses, players will start caring less, especially in certain states. I see more states likely opening up as we start to progress. And if you are on a bad team, I think it will be no incentive for those players not to go out. So even if it was like, hey, you went out, you broke protocol, you suspended a game, you're going to lose a game's pay. Man, I've got paid for 10 games. Like I can go a week without, like for the right player. I can go a week without a game pay and I'll be back the following week, or I won't do it again. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah. Whatever the case may be. But I just think as we start to go, I think you're going to see more of these things happening. And I don't think the schedule is going to be on the NFL side, and it's going to cause an issue, especially if you were a team to pick up 2 losses back to back because of this situation. And, God forbid you're at a situation where you're sitting at 5-3 and now you're at 5-5. And
it's like in a week.
in a week. And we didn't even get into these maybe false positives or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting going down. That's why I said I'm not even going to get my hopes up. This thing's going to end.
Yeah. All right. Well, round of applause for the NFL. Moving on to the NBA. NBA Finals is getting ready to tip off. Lakers, Miami Heat. Truthfully, I think Lakers probably win this thing in 5, maybe 6. Lakers, LeBron's going to get his 4th ring. And, I mean, the Miami Heat, kudos to them to even making the finals. I mean, you beat the Bucks, you beat the Celtics, and now you get your grand prize, you get to face the Lakers. Like, LeBron and Anthony Davis. We, as basketball fans, I think we got robbed of that Clippers-Lakers series, but, the Clippers, they just wasn't focused, and now they're in turmoil. We'll discuss that in a moment. But as far as this series, I just think the Heat, even though like they're a team, like Jimmy Butler, of course, is the leader. They got Tyler Hero, they got Bam. Even Goran Dragic he's playing extremely well. They are a formidable team, but I just think at the end of the day that it's just going to be too much LeBron and AD. They're going to be really they're impossible to stop, and the Heat they'll put forth a challenge, but I think at the end of the day, when you got to close when it's time to close the game, even though Jimmy Butler is a great closer, I just think that the combo of Anthony Davis and LeBron would be too much. So the Lakers will win this series in either 5, more likely 5 games, maybe 6. I don't see it going 7, and I damn sure don't see the Heat winning it. So if I had to make a pick, I'll say Lakers in 5. Saheem, your thoughts?
I think it'll go 7 with the Lakers winning. I think the Heat are going to give them everything they have not seen yet, because the Heat are going to come in with passion. They're going to come in with heart. They're going to come in gritty. Like, this team will kick you in the nuts if they have to, literally, to win the game. Jimmy Butler is going to bring a type of tenacity that the Lakers haven't had to deal with yet. I mean, probably the only player they got that from so far was Damian Lillard. And when they played the Blazers, that's all they had was they just had Dame. You know what I mean? So it was easier for them to get by. But this Heat team has more issues for the Lakers. So I think it goes the full 7, but I think the Lakers edge them out.
All right, Snell, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think the whole world has the same question of what are the Heat going to do with AD, and that's like the looming question, and I don't know if they really have. I don't think they have an answer to that piece of the puzzle.
They're gonna put you down as Haslam on them.
That may be it. Outside of it,
he might hit with a bunch of old man game and strength and just keep him out of the post.
Yeah, that's maybe the best tactic is send Udonis out there and just have him fist fight AD.
Yeah, try to get him suspended.
Just try to get him suspended like that. But I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I think the Heat, really, to me, the Heat, they damn near, they won a championship. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? You've done all you could. Now you got to face this Laker team. I don't really see because the Lakers have seemed to giving up one game every series. Maybe I see it going 5, maybe 6. But as a basketball fan and enthusiast, I don't see the answer to how they pull this one off. But if they were to do it, this is the bigger question that somebody asked me. If they were to do it, what would this do? If the Heat were to win this series, what would this do to LeBron's legacy?
Oh my gosh. You talk about,
I don't think it'll hurt it any.
What do you mean? Like I think they're more favored to win this series than they were to beat Dallas. I would have to double check that. But if they lost this series, like, you take LeBron from, comparing him to Michael Jordan, and you have to start comparing him to just other guys, like, just like you might have to knock him down to that Kawhi level. Like, yo, you look Kawhi in the face now, or you don't ever speak Michael's name again, like, or like,
I think he really can't speak Michael's name now.
That's how I feel.
No, I agree. I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. It really doesn't hurt his legacy. I think he is the second best all-around athletic guy that the game has ever seen. And I don't think him going in losing this is going to change that any, because he's in year 17. He probably should have been the MVP. Probably should have been first team all defense. You know what I'm saying? And for him to not win this, I don't think it tarnishes his overall legacy. Is this season a failure? Hell yeah, I think it is if they get that far and they lose to the Heat. But his overall legacy, no, I think he's fine at number 2.
If LeBron let Jimmy Butler, Tyler, and Bam win this series and win the NBA Finals,
but
he'll never live it down. He already can't live down the Dallas series. Like, that's always going to haunt him. Then he'll add this to his resume.
It's going to come down. I think some of this will have to go to coaching. I don't think Frank Vogel is the right coach for this team. And I think Eric Spoelstra is showing himself as being a really, really good coach. And then he has Pat Riley in his ear. Like, I think that if it comes down to a coaching thing, it's going to be the Heat. So you can't really blame that on LeBron.
Nah, I'm blaming it LeBron, because you got Anthony Davis on your team, a top 5 player. Like, LeBron is like, you got 2 top 5 players or 2 top 7 players on your team. And
I was always, I didn't always think AD was soft, but I think when he plays for the Lakers, he's soft.
Yeah, I agree with Snell that if LeBron loses this series, his legacy takes a major hit. Like, because there's already like people that still don't think he's surpassed Kobe. Like, that's a real conversation.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he hasn't surpassed Kobe either.
I don't think.
I believe that.
To me, I don't have currently. If he wins the championship this year, I think you could put him kind of past Kobe a little bit. But to me, I don't think he's surpassed Kobe quite yet. As far, like, there's a difference between his skill level. I think, like you said, he's probably the best. As far as just a pure athlete, he's probably one of the best athletes we ever saw. But as far as, like, if I had to pick a player to start a franchise with, and I get all the players that ever play, and that's when you start to, I still think you like, well, I'll take
go
MJ.
Michael Jordan,
then let me get Kobe. Like I still feel that way based off of like just LeBron's career.
Yeah.
Like I think
LeBron's not a killer.
Yeah, I just think something clutch is just not there in certain times. And if he lost this series, it would be that would be like not even like it's not even a question. Like, yeah, you're not even at the table anymore.
Yeah, please leave the table, sir. You're excused. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, going back to the series, I think the Lakers winning 5 or 6. If the Heat won this series, like that would be, just completely devastating. Probably it might be one of the worst finals losses in NBA history, to be honest with you. So, Lakers should win. They should take care.
Yeah, I don't see. I think the Lakers winning 5. But if they find a way to lose this, or if there's a freak injury of some sort like that's another thing. But
injuries changes everything.
But if they just flat out lose this series, I mean, I don't even know if the Lakers fans would let LeBron live that down. Forget everybody else. The Lakers fans would.
Yeah, and you add on top of that, like you failed during the year that Kobe passed. Like it get real bad. But moving on to a failing team, the Los Angeles Clippers. They let Doc Rivers go. I kind of felt that way. I had tweeted it out like a couple weeks ago. I was like, if the Clippers lost this game, like I was watching Game 7. I was like, if the Clippers lose this game, I think there's a chance that Doc Rivers could get fired. And he survived a week or two after, but then they just let him go. I'm wondering who they're going to bring in. I saw some names like they're going to either bring in Ty Lue or promote Ty Lue to head coach, or Jeff Van Gundy, which would be very interesting. I saw some talks of maybe like Coach K or John Calipari. I don't see that at all. Mark Jackson name has not been mentioned, which is just a trending topic always when a coaching vacancy becomes open. But yeah, Doc. If I'm Doc, I would take a year off, but it seems that he's going to take he's going to maybe take that 76ers job, which the 76ers is a good team, and I think they're fool's gold because they're the way the roster is constructed. Like you got Al Horford and Tobias Harris, who are nice players, but you got them signed to like max deals, and they're not max players, so you're kind of trapped. So either they would trade Embiid or Simmons, or maybe Doc can figure something out. If they got a point guard, I think that'll help. But overall, I wasn't surprised that Doc was let go, but it's just like, damn, like now you really, really have to hit this coaching hire out the park, or I fear that this could all go to waste because Kawhi and PG are free agents after next season, and who knows what could happen after that. So, Tahim, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I think this Doc, he definitely gets picked up again for a head coaching job. I think he actually goes to Philly. I didn't think they were going to let him go, though. I thought somehow he was just going to, be there because Doc is like one of those guys that's kind of like, he can coach a players type coach, so it'd be hard to see him go type thing. And he was there when they had to deal with all the down with Sterling and all that. So I thought he was, going to be able to stay, but nope, they let him go. But I think he probably goes to Philly. Tries to help that shit show out.
All right, Snow, your thoughts.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that he was let go, and like he wasn't really like fired. I guess like everything you see is like they mutually parted ways. I kind of thought he was. I already kind of thought he was done. I thought he would just take like a GM role. Like I already kind of felt like that's where he was at. Like with the Clippers, to me, he felt more like yeah, this is the GM more than this is the head coach. Like so that's just kind of the role that I thought he would take. But I could see him. I could understand him going to the Sixers. Like, I feel like he needs to be in that role of like, I need to be the coach and I kind of need to be like in the front office. Like I kind of need to have like both seats. So he can't really go to certain situations where he can't have that. So the Sixers would obviously be one of the places that he could go where he can kind of be in the front office. Like I'm the biggest voice in the room. Like even though you got Elton Brand who's done well, like hey, you got to listen to Doc Rivers when he speaks. Like there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about that. But I don't know. So I wasn't really shocked that he left or was fired or anything like that. I just didn't think he would even be open to coaching again. I thought he would just like, hey, I'm done. My next job is going to be like a GM job. Like I thought he would like quit or, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm done. And just be like, yeah, I'm the GM of the Brooklyn Nets. Like just immediately, like straight to something like that. But the fact that he wants to coach, I guess he still has that passion. I mean, the Sixers would be a good job. It'll be less expectations than the Clippers. So I could see that him going anywhere that's just like, hey, we're not planning to win this thing the first year. Like, yeah. Like I can do what I want.
Yeah. So. All right, round of applause for basketball. All right, moving on to the shit show of the debates that took place. I watched the whole thing, and I was just stunned. I was stunned at the back and forth that was taking place, the cutting people off. Trump and his antics, and Biden slurring his speech, struggling with words. I'm like, these are the candidates. Like these are the leaders of the free world. Like it was all bad. And then the pinnacle for me was when Trump refused to denounce white supremacists. He said, "Proud Boys, stand down or stand back or stand down or whatever." Just ridiculous. And it just shows you that who his core, like he has a core base of people that will vote for him, and they are racial people, and it's people like to deny it. They like to say like, oh, he's not a racist, he's done all this and that for black people. No, he has not. He's done nothing. I just hate when people say that. So at the end of the day, Trump is about money first. Everything else is second. People can keep tap dancing around it if you want. The dude, I think he's a racist dude. And it is what it is. And, we're, less than 40 days into the election. So people that are listening, make sure you are registered to vote, make your vote count. And, it's just it's really unfortunate that these are our two candidates, because I mean Biden looks slow and rugged himself.
Slow and rugged.
Slowing
his speech. It really was like, yo, like I don't want Trump to win, but damn, like at this point it's like, yo, can we call Bernie Sanders back up? Something like it, because at least like a back and forth between Bernie and Trump would have been great. Because even though Bernie's older, he has like more energy, so that helped out. But yeah, this Biden, I mean, the lesser of the two evils, I guess. But yeah, that was a shit show. There's a couple more. Then I think there's also one with the vice president and Kamala Harris. So I'm gonna watch them all just to get all the information I can. But I was just stunned at the show that was put on. The moderator had no control. Trump kept over talking both people, and like I said, the highlight was that Proud Boys comment. I really don't know what to say. All I can say is please register to vote. Stella, I'll start with you because you said you watched a little bit of it. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, and it is it's probably hands down one of the worst debates I've seen like in my entirety of life. And that's like adding in like the drunk debates of me debating who's a better shooter, Reggie Miller, or like that. Any debate I've ever heard, it was like the worst one. So it's just like hard to watch because it's like you said, like neither one of them look good. They both just look like, yo, both of y'all need to go ahead and take a seat. Like, just go ahead and just sit on down. So I didn't watch the full thing just because I couldn't take it. It was just too much back and forth. The moderator looked like he just found out he was doing the moderation with these two guys like that day. Like, hey, he should be prepared that this thing's about to go off the rails quickly. And it just, I don't even know if it lasted 3 minutes.
Yeah, it went off the rails, like you said, within like the first couple minutes.
He had no control. And it was just no control. And after about 30 minutes of that, I gave up because I could just already hear. I can hear the Facebook comments and the Facebook blogs and people just typing long synopsises and theses about this debate already starting. And I was like, I'm already gonna have to read through all this tomorrow. There's no need for me to further watch this. So anything that happens, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. Like you said, neither candidate looked good, and it's just like, I don't know what to say. Everybody vote. But that's it. That's all I can really say at this point, because this is just crazy. Just more chaos. That's all it was to me.
All right, Taheem, I know you didn't watch, but what are your thoughts overall on voting, the candidates? Break it down for us.
Well, yeah, you definitely got to go out and vote. That's your civic duty. Everybody needs to go vote. Candidates, you know, they're old. Yeah. They're white. Trump's a racist. I think Biden. I think overall, Biden's, without going to say it, he's definitely the better candidate. I think he gets a bad rep. I just think he's kind of like. I think it's bad for him because he was under Obama, who was such a well-spoken individual, very articulate. So when he comes out, like he's like literally just talking like your uncle does. Like he slurs and he fucks up sometimes.
Yeah, after a couple shots of Jack.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine. I still know what he meant. Like, you know what I mean? But for Trump, I think Trump is actually retarded because of the way he talks. Like he doesn't structure sentences correctly. He talks in double negatives. And I'd rather have Biden, represent me to the rest of the world collectively, because he won't have me out looking like a jackass. I think Trump's biggest thing is he really needs to get punched in the face one good time, and I think a lot of his things in his life would change. I don't think he would be as abrasive as he is. I think it might actually fix his speech. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, please go out and vote. There's still time to get registered, and just make it count, because another 4 years of this will be bad. But I mean, Biden, let's pray he make the 4. let's get that. But let's pray he makes the 4.
Bro, I'm telling you, after about 5 minutes in, I was like, this is like, these dudes might die. Like that's how I really felt. Like, these dudes is about to just get into a screaming match, and both of them have a heart attack at the same time. Like, like y'all are too old to be going back and forth like this. Like, just let one go and then the other go. Like,
it's too much.
Y'all might not make it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give a round of applause to voting. Like, just vote. Please vote. Just vote. All right, moving on. Taheem, I think you wanted to give out some shout outs to some entrepreneurs out there and some leaders.
This is not something that I just wanted to do. Like, I woke up one morning and said, hey, we're going to do this on the podcast. This is something we talked about collectively and just never got around to doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you just put this all on my shoulders. Like, yo, this is what Taheem wanted to do.
No. I'm it's a collective effort, but
okay.
We talked about it months ago, but now.
Yeah, I just remembered to put it on the thing.
Yeah, so.
That's all.
Right.
But I think the first person that we're going to shout out is Mike Bland. I think it's very, very important, that we shout out Mike, because, we went to high school, Mike. In high school, Mike couldn't read. And now
Stop it.
He is. No, I was playing. But to see the maturation of Mike, to see, you know, what he's become, is it's amazing. You know, to see, you know, like I said, a person we went to high school with, in high school, you're totally different. And to see a person say, you know, I'm going to really step into the civic duty. I'm going to be a leader, which is a really, really selfless job. Any leader will tell you that when you are a leader or you work for the people, you have to be of the people. And you really have to give all of your time and energy to the people, because, you know, there's always questions. There's always something that has to be done. It's a job that takes away from your family at times. It's a job that puts you in very, very difficult situations. And to be of the right morality and the right ethical guidelines, and to continue to do that in a positive way. I mean, you can't not say that this is a great man right here. You know what I mean? And especially him being African American and doing a lot for the African American community. You know, in our where we grew up, you know, Long Branch. I just think you really have to take a minute and really appreciate everything that he's done and is trying to do, you know, for the community. Like it's you know, it's a wonderful job.
Yeah, round of applause for him again. Yeah, he's done great, man. You know, big into the community, you know, just trying to make a change. You know, you go away, get educated, come back, put all that energy back into your community. That's a good thing. And, you know, hopefully, you know, he is the leader of a lot of change for the next generation coming up. And it's good to see. You know, it's just good to see people that we went to school with doing great things. You know, trying to make a difference, and, you know, trying to build up. And you know, moving on to the next people we wanted to shout out, Mr. Encore and his wife, Mama Hill. That's her company name. She does you know, the vegan foods, and they're doing like picnics and everything. It's just awesome. Like Mr. Encore, I've known him. He's been making beats for forever. Now he has the tenfold photography. You know, and they partnered up, like they're doing the picnics and he's doing the photography. You know, he's making beats for like her videos and stuff. So it's just all good, man. Like I said, people we went to high school with, seeing them doing good things, you know, it's awesome to see people that, you know, it ain't all about just, you know, going to Jack's and having a drink. It's just like, yo, let's try to get this money.
Man, that's the marketing plan, man. Go to Jack's.
That's the marketing plan.
I'm just keep buying you drinks until you buy what I got. Like that's
Props to them. You know, the picnic. I think the picnic idea is really cool. Like, you know,
Yeah.
dates and, you know, anniversaries, or, you know, people having kids, or like whatever. I think it's a good idea. So props to them. Lastly, we have our friend Jennifer Aguilar. She has a catering business called, I hope I'm saying this right, Chi Chi's or Chai Chai's, or
No, it's definitely Chi Chi's. Calm down, bro.
Chi Chi's. Props to her.
It's definitely Chi Chi's.
Chi Chi's. Props to her. Round of applause. Round of applause. Round of applause. I mean, Jen been cooking since I've known her, and
Yeah,
you know, her empanadas are like, you know, top tier. So I can understand why she's going into business selling these things and other things, like other foods that she's selling. But yeah, you know, if you got to take a shot, like we always talk about, like our beginning segment, taking a shot, bold prediction. You got to take a shot in life too. You know, just go for it. If you believe in something, just go for it. And you know, hopefully it pops. And, you know, if it pops, you know, you can say like, yo, I created all of this on my own. And, you know, if the unfortunate circumstance that it doesn't pop, at least you can say you tried. So props to them. Props to everybody. Round of applause. Still, any closing remarks? Anything you want to say about Mike or Encore or Jen?
Yeah, I've done work with I've been lucky enough, I've done work with Mike, so, you know, not just New Jersey, but he works education reform now. He works like nationally, so he's worked in, you know, Tennessee, Louisiana, Washington State. So I know he's working in other other communities, not just Long Branch. So that's really good, especially because a lot of them are, majority African American, but that's where he's at. So I know he's working, nationally. So that's always like interesting. It's just interesting to see, like you said, somebody you grew up with, like, hey, I got to go talk to these people in Tennessee, like in Memphis, because they need help and they're worse off than we are in Long Branch. And so to see him go there and to help, communities that really do need the help and they really do need to see, the influences of, hey, this is a black man who went to college and has a national position and travels and, is successful, is important for, people of color to see. So I've been lucky to do that. I've been lucky to have Jerome help me, film stuff and take pictures. And I'm a full blown meteor, so I don't really do the Mama Hill thing, but I have had her food before, and I definitely was fooled to be like, oh, this ain't got no meat in it. Like I didn't know. Like I'm just keep eating. So like you said, it's been one of those things of like, yeah, I've been blessed to just know all these people, and then Jen is one of the only people I've seen start a full blown brawl with her empanadas. So if you want to know how good they are, like it's enough to get people to want to fight. So
good times.
Exactly. So I've been blessed to know them all and to see it all. And like you said, man, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So that's what I'll leave it at.
All right. So yeah, final round of applause for those people. So yeah, this has been episode 103. You can follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're also we're video on YouTube now. If you have any questions or anything, you send that over to info@secondonepodcast.com. NFL Week 4 is here. Hopefully, NFL is here to stay. NBA Finals.
Week 10, I'm telling y'all.
The NBA Finals is here. The debates are here. Oh, my bad. We didn't even discuss baseball. I don't watch baseball, so do y'all have any remarks from the playoffs? So, Taheem, and actually, Snell, congratulations to you on doing well in your fantasy baseball.
Listen, man, I tried to tell the world I know about the game of baseball, and shout out to John Hendry for finally letting me in after a decade wait. He finally let me in, and I went ahead and won fantasy baseball because I just know the diamond. That's what I know. Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't know much. I just looked at every fantasy baseball mock draft I could, put a team together, and we pulled it off. But I don't know. The Mets aren't in the playoffs, so I don't know who's gonna win it.
I'm a Yankees fan, so I'm watching.
Since when?
Since your inception and since your birth, that's when, grandson. Don't disrespect me. Yeah, we're up 1 right now. We're up 1-0 in the series. We're actually losing the game right now after this monsoon just rolled through New York. Or no, Cleveland, I think we're in, but yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really watch baseball too much. I mean, I listen to a lot of sports talk radio when I'm driving, so I kind of have a feel for what's going on, but to say I'm going to actually want to sit down and watch a baseball game, it's just not my thing. Yeah. Oh, hockey. I think it was the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
They won the Stanley Cup. No round of applause for that. Props to them. Tampa Bay. They got the Lightning. They got the Bucks, who might they might be a good time down there.
They get a fucking good time.
Yeah.
There's still Florida. Florida be wild.
Yeah, Florida going Florida. So
yeah.
Again, find us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you got any questions or anything, send that over to info@secondone.com. Video on YouTube. And like we said, we just gonna keep pushing forward, man. Like it's a great time for sports. Like we have everything going on right now. Championships are being won. Football is in full swing. We're about to be a quarter of the way through the season already, which is crazy. And hopefully, you know what, we just keep it going. Yeah. Any last remarks from you guys?
Oh man, one big one. I forgot about this too. We got the Preakness this week.
Oh, the Preakness. That's the thing. Like,
it's crazy.
I'm so focused on like football and basketball. Like the Preakness is coming up. Like
the who?
It's horse racing.
I don't know fucking horse racing.
Come on, man.
What you think this is, man?
Come on, man. Don't disrespect the pony.
The Clydesdales out there running. The Meg the Stallions out there running.
Yeah, the ponies was the only thing going from like March to like May.
They kept us alive. They kept us alive for a couple months.
They kept y'all alive. I wasn't watching that shit.
Come on, you missed out.
I forgot you. You was watching them. Never mind.
Exactly. You don't even know.
No, I was gonna say something wild, but I forget it.
Wild my ass.
But all right. If there's nothing else, this is the Second and One podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We'll get with you guys next time.